Welcome back, Competitive Edge. We're going to continue our MLS tutorials. In this session, we're going to go through an MLS input sheet whenever you are ready to do a listing. So let's get started. Once you log into the system and you're ready to start your input, you're going to select the input option. Starting a new listing under input, you'll select Add New. For this example, we're going to select residential, but of course you'll want to select the appropriate form for the type of listing that you're putting into the system. From here you can select one of two options. If you have the property information and there's an existing owner, you may select from the realist tax, or you can start with a blank listing. I'll show you what populates when we select realist tax. So we will select the county that the property is located in, and then if we have a customer or client's last name. And for this purpose we want to, I'm selecting the 1917 Highland Park Circle address. I know that is the proper address, and of course it automatically gives me the tax ID, which is something that will auto-populate. So from here, it will actually pull all the information that is in the system on the tax records. So you just want to make sure that what the client has and what the tax records that are listed and available to us, it's all the same. But it will definitely save you some time as you're filling in the information. Now from here you'll continue. Everything that's in orange is required information. A lot of this information you should already have from your client because they would have filled out the residential input data sheet that you would have had them complete, or whenever you had your listing appointment and gone through walking the property, and that if you do that first, that definitely helps out and saves you time when you get ready to input everything here in MLS. So you'll select your property type, your listing type, of course housing type. Again, all of this information is going to be on that residential input data sheet that you have talked to your client about. Of course, if it's a pre-owned existing property, and of course the list price is going to come from your listing agreement, what the client has stated that they want their home listed for. And then you'll go through all of the other options. If a section is clear but you have the information, then it's okay to fill it in, but just know that all of the orange is required. From here, then you just go back to the top of the screen, you select your tabs across the top, you'll select the amount of bedrooms that are appropriate for the listing, and you'll keep going through each tab, filling in all the proper information based on the residential data input sheet. You'll keep going, lot and utilities, financial information, and again, as long as you have that residential input data sheet, this should be very seamless, and you'll just click on each tab, going through all of the options. If you have a business partner or a co-listing agent, this is where you would put in their information. You'll select refresh, and their information will populate. You'll want to put our office supervisor, Mal Smith, his license number, which of course I've entered it multiple times, so it's automatically on my screen. If you don't know it by heart, of course, then you can see it on any of your you can look at it on your IBS, which is auto-populated as well. So you'll continue through all the different tabs. Drive-in directions, in most cases I just put to follow the GPS, or if there's something special about your property, if it's next to a big boulder in the community or wherever, you can always put those specific things. And then property description is factual information about the property, but you can either write it yourself or have your client write it for you. And then from there, of course, there's if this is not a condo or a farm and ranch, you just skip over that tab, and then you select status. Now from here, if you are not ready to go active or coming soon, then you will select incoming. And then you can select submit listing, and this shows once you've submitted the listing, as long as you've selected incoming, you can still go back and change criteria, but it is not incoming soon and it's not active. So maybe you're finishing up some information, you haven't completed the listing agreement or whatever, that you're tying up loose ends with your client and need to go back and change some things. If you're ready to select active, then you would select submit listing, and then go from there. So I want to select validate. When you select validate, this is going to go back through the system and see. Let's do coming soon, submit listing. Now, I did this on purpose so that you could see whenever you select coming soon or active, then it shows areas where we have failed to fill in some important information. So as you get these exclamation points, you have to go back through each tab. Once you've corrected the information that's missing, then the exclamation point will go away. Everything would be blue. You go back to your status tab, select active, submit listing, and of course then you would have your MLS number. But from here, we don't have the right information. I don't want to make this an active listing because I already have one, and so I want to cancel input. And of course, here, if we want to cancel, we would select OK, and it deletes everything that we've started. That's one way of starting a listing. You can also start with a blank slate, start with a blank listing, and that just means everything in orange has to be filled in, and so that may be appropriate if you're doing a new build listing or something like that. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to start a listing in MLS by selecting Input, Add New, and then selecting the appropriate form, filling everything in that you have taken off the residential data input sheet. Have a great day.